Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday, June the 10th, and we are here to look at new releases this week. And on Mondays, we look at the cozy mysteries that are being released this week. Hope you had a good weekend. If you're watching this later, hope you're having a good Monday. I gotta admit, I am not feeling very inspired to go to work today. Have to. Don't want to, but I will, because we do. Let's see. My weekend wise, when did I finish? I'm currently reading, I started to read the second book in the Joe Abercrombie fantasy. I've been holding off reading the second one for like over a year. I finished the Grace Burroughs Lady Violet attends a wedding. When did I do that? That was early in the weekend. Anyway. Oh, I started to read Murder at Ardith Hall by Irina Shapiro. I think that one is sixth in the Redmond and Hayes historical mysteries. All righty. And I'm not looking forward to going to work physically because the underpass, which is basically the main way to get to work, is being closed for at least a couple weeks again. So that's going to create chaos and havoc and bleh. Good morning, Kim. How are you? How are the puppies? I heard you fell. Are you okay? How's that going? I know you put ice on it. Did the puppies trip you? Are they conspiring? That is not good. Cozy mystery wise, as far as I can tell, there are no big names. I'm not a huge cozy mystery reader. I read some, but not a lot. But I did not recognize any big names this week. First up, Cookie Crumble and Murder, a Holly Holmes cozy culinary mystery, book number 1 of 10. How do they know? Are they trying to bamboozle us right off the bat? Let's consult the Oracle Goodreads. Super quick. Oh, and it's 0.5. It does not say. However, there are this says 1. Goodreads says 0.5. Yep, they did try to bamboozle us, unless the 0.5 is the new release part. Sorry, man. Oh well, we'll read it super duper quick. At least the first chapter here, first paragraph. Sprinkle in murder and add a dash of danger. Life at my cafe in the stunning village of Audley St. Mary is as sweet as my cinnamon rolls. Between whipping up treats and enjoying the local history, things are perfect, especially with Meatball, my adorable corgi dog, by my side. Unfortunately, murder can curdle the cream, and I become a suspect in an investigation when I find the village undertaker dead in an open grave. Goodreads is listing this as 0.5, like a prequel, so perhaps that is why it is being released. It says it's being released this week. They do things like that. These are good. Me feels better. No, they didn't trip me. Part of my medical issues caused me to lose my balance. I usually know when I'm going down, but I can't stop it. Gravity. Gravity sucks. Well, it sounds like you're doing the right things to take care of it, but that definitely puts an issue in taking care of doggos. Tangerine Marmalade Murder, A Luscious Delights Mystery Book Number 3 by Meg Benjamin. When a stranger is murdered near Roxy Constantine's farm, she's sure it has nothing to do with her. But the investigation turns up surprising links to Roxy's past. As if that weren't enough, Roxy's quarreling with her significant other, capital letters, Nate Robichaud, and facing a possible breakup. Just when the stress begins to ease, the murderer strikes again, sending Nate to the hospital. Now Roxy needs to figure out the link between the Constantine farm and a blackmailer before she becomes the killer's next target. Interesting cover. Like the title, though. The Pink Diamond Caper, Witch's Cove Mystery Book Number 22 by Vela Day. Welcome to Witch's Cove, where the gossip is as tantalizing as the magic. Glinda Harrison, our hit-and-miss witch and amateur sleuth, thought she'd seen it all, until a vengeful warlock's curse begins to unravel the lives of the town's most talkative residents. As the quaint coastal haven descends into a whirlwind of misfortune, Glinda must navigate a web of secret spells and suspects to unmask the culprit before the entire town falls under an irreversible hex. Armed with her wits, her talking pink iguana familiar Iggy, I'm out, talking animals, and her tech-savvy husband Jackson, Glinda races against time to break the curse, etc. But it's also nice to see a non-cartoony kind of cover. Speaking of, Trespass and Tortoise, an animal cozy mystery, Dusty Paws Mystery, Book Number 5 by Verena De Luca. In the serene town of Ratton, Natalie Davis and Sheriff Jake Dwyer are back on the case when a beloved community member, Mr. Smith, is found murdered in his own backyard. As they untangle the threads of this perplexing crime, they stumble upon an unexpected discovery, a lonely tortoise named Tony in need of a new home. Did he tell you this? Amidst the urgency of solving the murder, Natalie and Jake embark on a heartwarming journey to find the perfect place for Tony to thrive. But with tensions running high and the secrets lurking in the shadows, their investigation takes unexpected twists and turns. As they follow the clues, Natalie and Jake find themselves drawn deeper into a web of deceit and betrayal. With time ticking away, they must race against the clock to uncover the truth about Mr. Smith's death and ensure Tony's safety. Sleeping Cat Blues. Yes, I'm kind of thankful that her youngest daughter is here at least until Thursday. Oh, that helps for sure. Moral service my cousin is today. Oh dear. Yeah, you are a good cousin. Support for family. This is by Alison O'Leary, 5 books in Cat Noir series. An attack on a retired journalist brings new attention to an old case. Jeremy Goodman has been taking a class in local history taught by Margaret, a retired journalist. She's just dug up some intriguing new information in a 40-year-old unsolved triple homicide known as the Golf Course Murders, and now she's been attacked and left for dead. Jeremy is teaming up with an ex-cop classmate to look into Margaret's assault and their fellow students as well. Could one of them have a connection to the cold case? There's a lot of investigating that needs to be done, and his cats, Aubrey and Vincent, just might sniff out a key piece of evidence. How do you know it's a cozy? Animals help solve the crime. A Golden Triangle by Olivia Viola. A stroll on the pier in gorgeous Naples, Florida, takes an unexpected twist for sisters Ollie and Mo when a stranger's nearly $1 million watch disappears, quite literally, beneath their feet. Enter Betty, a billionaire retiree, and a golden triangle of friendship and laughter is born. All would be well for the new friends indeed, were it not for investigating detective Lieutenant Carmen Cruz fixing on Ollie as the thief. And just a couple of days later, a murder too heinous to contemplate. The solution to the mysteries will require a mix of delish recipes, champagne, Agatha Christie, beloved dogs, and yoga, with a side dish of hypnosis and brunch plans. Let's throw everything about a cozy in it. There's even a medieval English knight reincarnated in the most unlikely of vessels. Okay, that was out of nowhere. Come for the beachside antics and stay for the captivating blend of crime, charm, and sisterhood. Bon appetit. Resorts and Revelations. Tiffany Black Travel Mysteries, book number 13 by A.R. Winters. That is a bright green. Sun, surf, and seriously amazing food. It's a dream destination for Tiffany, Rosie, Stone, and Nana as they head to an exclusive resort in Hawaii. Unfortunately, their workcation bliss is shattered when a guest staying in the resort is murdered, and Tiff and Rosie are asked to investigate. Why? But was the intended victim actually someone else, and will the killer strike again? The team must work quickly to prevent another death. Dot 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 dot. So I've got a hair on my lip. Yen for murder. Good morning, Susan. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. We're looking at Cozy Mysteries being released into the wild this week. Yen for Murder by Jean Burroughs Johnson, 4th in the Natalie Sechrist Hawaiian Cozy Mysteries. Honolulu journalist Natalie Sechrist experiences a vision of a Buddhist minister meditating at her altar. When a sharp sound crashes into her consciousness, Natalie watches as the woman falls to the floor. Later, while browsing through an antique auction brochure, Natalie and her life partner, retired homicide detective Keone Hewitt, see a statue of an ancient Shakyamuni Buddha, which he realizes was stolen during the now cold case that haunted the end of his career with the Honolulu Police Department. Soon, Keone and Natalie dive into the realm of international auctions and estate sales with the aid of Miss Una, Natalie's fleet-footed feline companion. See, told you, that animal helps. What prompted these crimes of murder and larceny? Was it the chance to acquire riches or religious zeal at the thought of possessing such a rare religious artifact? Can the conjoined cases be solved, or will the scanty evidence simply be returned to HPD's cold case files? 355 pages, so lots to unpack there. Apparently. Trouble in Town by Danielle Collins and Millie Briggs. This is Pearl Sands Beach Resort Cozy Mystery number 4. A bigger resort means big trouble. The Pearl Sands Beach Resort is looking to expand, but not everyone is happy about that idea. When a local man turns up dead, the plans for expansion arraign jeopardy of being put on ice permanently. Can Charlie clear the resort of any wrongdoing and save not only the resort, but everyone that works there? The Grim Reaper Gaff. Charlie Rhodes' Cozy Mystery Book number 15 by Amanda M. Lee. It all comes down to this. Charlie Rhodes has come a long way. She started out as a young woman trying to find a reason for her magic, going as far as to hide in the one place they were looking for her. Now the final battle is here. Charlie is in Detroit, surrounded by new faces looking for the final piece of the puzzle. Between the Reaper's zombie, mages, brujas, loas, and gods, she has her hands full. Death is barreling towards her and taking no prisoners. Sybil wants to kill her to prolong her life. Charlie just wants to be free to live hers. This war has always been written in the stars. Now it's finally here. Who will win? Doesn't really sound like a mystery. I'm well. How are you and how was your weekend? I am also doing well. I'm not very motivated for a Monday, but Monday happens anyway. But I did have a good weekend. I started the Christmas Afghan that I hope will go very quickly so I can knock it off my list. A Grave Betrayal by Malia Zaidi, book 7 in the Lady Evelyn series. I'm not familiar with this one. Lady Evelyn is off on a new adventure. Her honeymoon, her newly minted husband Daniel, and the ever curious detective are off to India, seeking weeks of rest, relaxation, and romance. They are thrust into a world so different from the one they know, an exhilarating setting for Evelyn, who delights in the different cultures and traditions. Disrupting their exploration, a family acquaintance invites the pair to the famed Bombay Gymkhana Club for an evening of entertainment. Yet what begins as a cheerful event ends in something far more sinister. Evelyn begins to wonder whether murder follows her when she is the one to find one of her latest acquaintances, having met a rather unnatural and premature end. Despite Daniel's protest, a detective cannot simply ignore a case unfolding before her very eyes, and so it is that the newly married couple is they're just thrusting all over the place, into a murder investigation. Questions arise, doubts are born, and long held secrets exposed as Evelyn pokes her nose in, as her husband might say. Cultural conflicts add to an atmosphere of mounting tension as she navigates a world in which she can only be a visitor. She meets Indians and British alike who are harboring all manner of secrets they might kill to keep. Evelyn must solve the case before another life is taken, including her own. Did I finish the wedding Afghan? What colors are the Christmas Afghan? I did not finish the wedding one yet. I just took a break this weekend from it. Um, if I had to stop, it would be a fine wrap kind of uh, blanket, but I want it to be like a blanket. So I just took a break from it. And so the yarn came in for the Christmas one. It is actually red and white. Uh, her favorite color is for our salesperson. Her favorite color is red and but like a deep red. So this is I found this is quicken quick and thick Lion Brand quick and thick uh, crimson, but it has some self-striping white in there to break it up. Um, so it's going really quickly. But I found apparently this is discontinued. So I found the last ones in the world apparently because I do things like that. I limit myself by finding things that are discontinued. Oh, but it's pretty. A Body in the by the Hen House by Kate Wells, third in the Malvern Mysteries. Thank you for asking. The time for celebration is over. Jude Gray's farm is going from strength to strength, and even though her grumpy neighbor has concerns about the new campsite in the lower field, she is undeterred. When a hen party arrives for a weekend away, she does her best to cater for their celebrations. But with a sheep needing urgent care, an accidental mishap, or something more nefarious, she finds herself consulting the group, which coincidentally contains 4 vets. When one of the hens goes missing, it becomes clear there are more sinister forces at play, and someone is targeting her farm. With the help of close friend Detective Inspector Binny Khatri, Jude once again dons her amateur sleuthing hat. The Honeymoon Homicides, a Provincetown mystery. Sidney Riley series book number 10 by Jeanette de Beauvoir. Despite an unforeseen disaster ruining her carefully planned wedding reception, hotelier Sidney Riley is undaunted as she and her brand new husband Ali leave for their honeymoon in the dunes of Cape Cod's national seashore. But even in this deserted location, Sydney uncovers clues that might have a bearing on the wedding fiasco. Despite hoping for a new life, she's drawn into yet another murder investigation, this time to protect Ali, who's been called away on a secret and dangerous assignment. Can Sydney find the murderers before Ali is harmed, or will a joyous week in the dunes be her only memory of their married life? The Pyramid Murders by Fiona Vetch Smith, third in the Miss Clara Vale mysteries. A night at the museum, a dead body, and a trail to Cairo. Sounds like a case for Miss Clara Vale. 1930. Miss Clara Vale, chemistry major turned detective, is taking a night off from sleuthing to attend the launch party of a new exhibition at the Hancock Museum in Newcastle. But when the pièce de resistance, a rare ornate sarcophagus, is finally opened, and it turns out the mummy inside it is a fake, it looks like there is no rest for Clara after all. Later that night, she is summoned back to the museum and asked to investigate a series of stolen Egyptian artifacts. Using her scientific and forensic prowess, Clara, with her trusted assistant Bella in tow, embarks on a trail that will lead from Newcastle to London and along the River Nile to Cairo. But she is not the only person hunting for stolen antiquities, and when she uncovers an international smuggling ring with a penchant for murder, it becomes clear that Clara's own life is in danger too. Now that does sound interesting to me. We're out of time. The others in this are Parrot Premonitions by Corrine Winters, Church Choirs Can Be Murder by Anne Sutton, and Death at Twilight by Elizabeth Oakey. We'll do a quick look at Church Choirs Can Be Murder because that's interesting. A Saffron Weald Mystery by Anne Sutton. Murder in the church choir always strikes the wrong note. Someone is stealing priceless sacred artifacts from the church vault of the quaint English village of Saffron Weald. Ophelia and her identical twin Imogen are called upon to lend their sleuthing skills to discover the identity of the thief before the matter needs to be reported to church authorities, thus avoiding a scandal. But the investigation takes a sinister turn when a shocking murder occurs, thrusting the inquisitive sisters into a web of mystery and intrigue. All right. So, there are some cozy mysteries. Don't do that. Being released into the wild this week. Thank you. It does pop. I like it. Reds can be difficult. I don't like orangey reds. And so this should go pretty quickly, actually. It's a bulky yarn, and the stitch I've chosen is a very fast one. The hook is I don't know if anybody's familiar with crochet. It's 15 millimeter. It is jumbo. And the first time I've used a jumbo one. Reading the Arc of Pyramid Murders now. Oh, it's cute. A little slow at times. Oh, cool. And Kim, have a good day, everyone. Indeed. All right, so that is it. Tomorrow we'll be looking at mysteries and thrillers. From my quick glance, there's a lot of thrillers this week. Announcements, no sprints tonight. They are on Sarah's channel if she does them. And our next sprints on my channel are on Tuesday, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Hope you guys have a very good Monday. Thank you so much for watching now. If you're watching later, thank you for watching later. I do repost these, so you don't necessarily have to get up so early if that is not your inclination. Hope you're reading good books. Let us change the banner while we are ready here. All right. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.